Wow, so as I'm recording this, it has already been 1 week since I got my new computer, and if you haven't seen the unboxing video, click here. Basically, since I got it, it has just required me to do a lot of restructuring and reorganization of my workflow for this project. And if you don't know, the project I'm talking about is my independent sci-fi feature film comedy, Gardener's Planet. We shot hours and hours of footage, and with that much footage and that much amount of data spread over days, weeks, months, and yes, even years, keeping track of it has been super important. Unfortunately, I didn't do quite as good a job of this organization as I might like to have hoped to do. And so in this video, I want to give you some tips so you can avoid making the same mistakes I did. So I shot this film on my Blackmagic Cinema Pocket Raw, and just to give you an idea, an average take of say 30 seconds, that was just shy of 2 gigabytes. And if you did 3 or maybe an average of 4 takes, that was 6 or 8 gigabytes. And so in total for block 1, day 1, we shot in total 134 gigabytes. So in block 1 in 2022, we shot for 4 weeks, and in total we shot 3.46 terabytes of footage. And so I had 4 drives with me. They were 2 terabytes each. So I spread that 3.46 terabytes of footage over 2 initial drives. We cut it down, I think, to roughly 55 minutes of footage, and we had to back it up, obviously. So we backed it up onto 2 more drives, 2 more 2 terabyte drives. Okay, so it's beginning to get complex, so let me just make sure I can keep my story straight here. We came back anyway in 2023 to Wexford. We shot for another 2 weeks, and we shot 1.63 terabytes of footage. That was put onto a drive, backed up on another drive, and essentially the film now was split over 3 drives and backed up on another 3. So in total there's 6 drives already of footage. At this point in 2023, it still wasn't clear to me how big the problem was, because I could take the footage from block 2, edit on that drive, export the scenes just in low quality H.264, and send them on to the block 1 drives. And then I could put those sequences on the timeline, expand the film from that 55 minutes to I think roughly 70 minutes that the film now was after block 2. And I know what you're thinking, and at this point, yes, I should have just invested in a much bigger drive that I could save everything in one place. But keep in mind, this was spread over the course of a year, and I guess I just got too comfortable, too much in the habit of going down to Harvey Norman, picking up those 2 terabyte drives, and backing the film up, and then kind of not thinking about it. My priority at this point, during this kind of period of principal shooting, was just ensuring that I didn't lose any of the footage, because I had worked so hard, and we all had worked so hard, that losing footage was just something I couldn't even dream about. So then in summer 2024, then I shot 3 more scenes, and I put them on another 2 terabyte hard drive. I don't know exactly how much we shot in 2024, but it was under a terabyte. And it was towards the end of that summer that I began to realize the scale of the problem, and I knew that I had to do something. I don't know, but this wasn't doable anymore, because, you know, if you want to edit it, then you had to take out one drive, you had to put another, close one project, take out the drive, put in a new drive, open a new project. So there was so many projects spread over so many drives, and there was backup of backups of backups. Don't do this. Okay, so then finally a week ago my new computer arrives, and that was great, but before I could even open the film on it, I couldn't, because I was editing on a Mac and now I was on Windows. So I actually ended up buying more hard drives, formatting them to exFAT so I could transfer the footage from the Mac onto the computer. So in case 8 hard drives wasn't enough, in case it wasn't confusing enough already, I had to transfer all that footage from those hard drives onto new hard drives. I did try to get 5 or at least 3 terabyte hard drives, but they weren't in stock, so I had to settle for the 2 terabyte hard drives. Don't do this. So then finally, when I had the new computer open, when I installed Premiere, and when I'd formatted the drives, and when I had transferred the footage from the old drives onto the new formatted drives, I could open it, but then so much of the project had to be relinked, refound. I was dealing with all these drives from all this one film spread over all these years, and it was just crazy. It was actually like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? So I knew then something had to change. So yes, you read that right. 18 terabytes. I have finally seen sense. I can finally open and edit the film on one drive. It may have taken the best part of 3 years, but here we are. And this has turned into another unboxing video. This is kind of my third unboxing. Jesus. Wow. Obviously a lot bigger than the 2 terabyte ones. And there's my plug, my charger, and a little UK plug as well, and an extension as well. Great. So this is great. Okay, finally. So the plan, I guess, is then to put all the footage onto this, and just the backup drives will be the 2 terabyte ones. Realistically, probably I should have 2 or 3 of these 18 terabyte ones. I mean, the amount of money I've spent on those 2 terabyte ones, I could certainly have afforded another 2 or 3 of these, but I'm not going to buy any more drives. Buying drives now is done for me for the next while anyway. So the film is going to go all on this, and this is going to be the primary drive that I can open, edit, do my sound mixing on, do my grading on, do the music on, do all the editing on, all on this drive. Okay, whew, great, just processing that. Cool, so I hope all that made sense. I hope it didn't get a bit too overwhelming with all the numbers. It felt a little bit overwhelming saying it, but I tried to get the facts right as much as possible in that, just so that you don't make the same mistakes I did in terms of storing the footage. I should have got one of these right away, before or after block 1. Shooting 4K raw or higher, as time moves on, you might be talking about 6 or 8K, but certainly for 4K raw, there's no reason not to have this drive. So I've tried to make that clear as possible. Hopefully you've taken something from it. Hopefully you've learned from it, won't make the same mistakes I did. And yeah, I'm really glad I did a video on this, because the storing of footage is such a huge thing for independent filmmakers. And maybe for shorts, those 2 terabyte drives are fine. But for a feature independent film, you need 1 or 2 of these babies, no question. So I've learned the hard way, but maybe you, when you're making your feature film, you won't make the same mistakes I did. And that's what this video series is all about. I want to be honest about what I'm doing right, and more importantly, what I'm doing wrong, or vice versa. But anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you in another video, hopefully soon.